Yo, it's K2D, as you probably already know. But I wanted to make like a little commentary about my first ever rap album, since I released it 1 year ago today, April 20th, 2024, on my Bandcamp page. And I wanted to talk about like stuff I considered while making the album, and also just like a few facts and like things I noticed when listening to it like earlier, and just like overall other things. And I think that'd be pretty cool since I don't have like a secret Witchcraft expanded edition for the anniversary. And I'm pretty sure like some of you like hearing me talk as well. So um let's get started, I guess. I haven't really done anything like this before, so I might be a bit slow with it. But I don't care. So the first thing I want to mention is again that it was my first ever rap album, so I consider the lyrics to be like meh at best. Because I had no idea what I was doing, like can't just make a whole album with like 18 songs and then be like, yeah, I definitely know what I'm doing with this, because I definitely didn't back then. But I made previous albums before, but they were never like proper albums. Like they're just like albums that I made with songs that I made like over time, and they were the Keats mixtape ones, and I'd say like those are pretty like good enough at best. Like there's a few songs in those that are pretty cool, but with Witchcraft, like I went into this like completely going at it, like actual songs, actual lyrics, actual shit. Um, so I was basically influenced by Insane Clown Posse in terms of lyrics and whatnot. Because I was listening to them a lot at the time. So if you look at the artwork for Witchcraft, you can see it's an edited version of the Wraith Hell's Pit character from the Insane Clown Posse's album with the same name. And for some reason I made it purple, and I also added the shades of my persona. But I added the purple because the name Witchcraft actually derives from a YouTube video that I made that was called Witchcraft, and it was just me highlighting like a purple square and it turned blue. Like, whoa, that's what happens when you highlight things, idiot. But I think it works pretty well because it stands out in a way because it doesn't have the black background instead of the fire one that the original one has, and it has the shades, of course, as well. Um, it's pretty cool, yeah. Um, I guess I should talk about the lyrics now or something. So in Witchcraft, there's like 18 tracks, which is a bit crazy for my first ever album. But people like them as well. So first track that I want to talk about is the intro track, and it's 23 seconds long. But I mentioned Guess Who's Back, which is a bit strange because as I said again, like this is my first ever album, so why would I be back? I think I put that there because I made like Ron Dunk and like a few other ones before I made this album. So it's like, guess who's back with this stuff? It's a whole new album. Crazy. And then I also mentioned K2D, and that used to be my stage name until I changed it after like, I'm pretty sure it was after this album released, or after Smoked released. And Smoked is the next album chronologically after this one. I think the name K2D sounds like kind of babyish, so that's probably why I changed it to Keithy and Two Dope. Um, so I mentioned a brand new spooky album because the album was mostly horrorcore. And horrorcore is a genre of rap music which has like disturbing, like spooky kind of lyrics, like Insane Clown Posse, which I mentioned was my inspiration for this album. So devilish beats and created from the depths of your mom's asshole and playing the role of the devil and ancient voodoo spells and whatnot. All stuff to do with like horrorcore, I guess. And there's also, as I said, the mention of ancient voodoo spells. Like it links to the album's title, witchcraft spells, witchcraft, whatnot. Um, a fun fact about this song is that if you listen to it, there's a mic drop sound like at the start, which implies I dropped the microphone before talking, which I think was really, really funny. Um, Next song on here is called Witchcraft, and it's literally just me saying, going to show you some real witchcraft. Witchcraft, witchcraft. It kind of reminds me of an Insane Clown Posse song called Carnival of Carnage, where they just say, Carnival of Carnage, Carnival of Carnage, Carnival of Carnage. I say like it's basically just a filler song, like I probably had no idea like what to write about. Um, it's like decent, I guess, but again, as I said, it's basically filler. But the next song, is a quite famous one, I think, because people like this one a lot. So on the Bandcamp page, it says hit single because it was supposed to be the single for this album, but I had no idea what a single was at that point. Um, Dead Disco was also the first song I ever made for Witchcraft because I sat one day, I was like, I'm gonna make a song like this. And I think I was inspired by the Insane Clown Posse songs called Headless Boogie, and I think also The Show Must Go On, because in The Show Must Go On they say like, dead dirty carnies, dead juggalos, walk hand in hand with the dead carnival. And in my song here, it's dead disco, dead dirty disco, whisko, whisko. Um, so I don't remember like my exact process when I was making the song, but I was like, if I'm gonna go to a party, I'm gonna bring a friend, right? So that's when I talked to my friend Ron about it, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll feature in the song." And I made the like all of these lyrics, like especially for his parts as well, and I think it came together nicely. But like half of it doesn't really make any sense. Like, um, however, my urges are burning, and I'm learning. Like, why would I be learning dance moves from zombies that are like falling apart? That's kind of strange, you know. But I think the song is like decent enough. I think I might have said that already, but pull up. I think Ron did a shardy. It's very mini lyrics, you know, like as I said, first ever album, no idea what I was doing and whatnot. I also mentioned rocking up to the door and there's stiffs on the floor. Stiffs is another word for zombies that I adopted from the Insane Clown Posse as well. I don't specifically remember what song they mentioned stiffs in, but I know there's a lot of them like that. So I think there's like basically good storytelling in this song as well. Like going to a party, Ron says we should do it at a party because he sees the zombies, and I'm like, yeah, let's just see this anyway. It's pretty cool. I also mentioned see a couple of dead bodies doing a headless boogie. Clear reference to headless boogie, kind of crazy. Uh, while I sit here and do the boogie shoogie, it's kind of funny as well because the boogie shoogie random dance move that I came up with. And a few facts about the song is that I the Whistle Whistle in the chorus was actually inspired by there's like this Homestuck song called like um I need to search it up actually. Give me a second. Yeah, so this guy named BB Pansu made a song called Visco Wisco, and I was like, hey, that sounds pretty funny. Like, I feel like I could put that somewhere. And then I made Wisco Wisco. And, like, it means literally nothing, but I think it ties the song together pretty swell. Pretty dope. Pretty cool. Dead disco, dead dirty disco, Wisco Wisco. It just works, you know? There's also in the original release with the text-to-speech voice, there's or you'll be gunning, running like a headless chicken at Ron's part, and then there's like a hey, and the hey is said by a friend that I know called Rad, and his like persona thing is a chicken, so I thought it'd be like really funny just to put hey after I mention running gunning like a headless chicken. In the digital disc release, I changed this to a bucko to like represent a natural chicken because I doubt that Red would have wanted to put like a hey. Because he's not featured in like any of my other songs, and plus I think the chicken noise is funny anyway. I think that's all for Dead Disco, but I'm surprised a lot of people like it because to me it's just like whatever, cool song. The next song on the album is called Warped, and for this one I was like, let me think of something that's kind of like niche, I guess, like something horror like, something that could happen or something that happens to people. And I was thinking like schizophrenia. Sure, why not? Schizophrenia. That could work. So I just wrote a song where it's like schizophrenia. Taking a sip from my water there. So it's just a song mentioning like stuff that doesn't make any sense, and it's choking it up to like warped. Your shit's warped. Like your head's warped. You have no idea what's going on in it. And then the last line of the song is called "Not Really, It's All Been in Your Head," which is also like pretty obvious. Schizophrenia is making you think things that aren't there. And I also mentioned in verse 2, the news guy says that a guy named Keithian is on the loose. And this is funny because the stage name I had, as I mentioned, was K2D Dope. So I have no idea where the Keithian actually came from, but I think it's cool that I mentioned it for the first time in this song specifically because it's really funny. Song about schizophrenia, and then I mentioned Keithian instead of Keithy. I also mentioned this song in Antichrist from my recent album called Revival, and it's the first verse of that is like basically this song but more like politically charged, and I'm saying like a guy named Trump is on the loose. I think that's like a pretty cool callback to this song. I don't really have any fun facts about the song really, unfortunately. So I'll just move on to the next one, which is Stalker. And Stalker, again, I was just thinking of, like, what would be a messed up thing, you know? And I was like, stalkers are kind of weird, you know? And when I was making this, I was like, how are people going to respond to this? Because as I said, it's a bit strange. But nobody's really said anything about it, which is fine because, you know, it's a song anyway, so whatever. I just thought of like the first things that would come to mind, like in a stalker's head, like walking around when it's dark, circling around a spot like a shark, trying to find a girl they think is attractive, but the girl probably didn't have feelings back, so it's just like hell breaking loose basically, and then the stalker kills the girl when she panics because he doesn't want to get caught or something. He's gonna face the electric chair. It's like basically just one of these songs where I just like make stuff up and like pretend to be someone. Obviously I would never stalk someone. Like in this album, I do have to mention I would not do any of these things. I just want to mention that. Obviously though, because who thinks I would? Literally. I've had people say like, yo, this kind of messed up. I'm like, dude, it's art. And I had no idea what I was like doing, you know? So in the third chorus of the song, it changes to I ain't a stalker, I just wanted to walk with her, instead of the previous choruses saying I ain't a stalker, I just want to walk with her. This references the fact that the guy killed the girl, so now he can't walk with her. He just wanted to walk with her, you know? There's not really anything else to mention about this song. The next song is I Stab People, and I Stab People was a song I made because my buddy Ron was, mentioning the song that I was listening to by Insane Clown Posse, also called I Stab People, was like me. So I was like, sure, why not? I'll make a song like this. I'll just stab people. And he also mentioned like this sequel, like Keep Stabbing or something. So I also made that a song, but we'll get to that in a second, right? So, and I Stab People, it starts with motherfucker, if I'll see ya, I'll stab ya, and then to my car trunk I'll drag ya. So this set like ongoing gag for like the songs and albums going forward, like just me putting people in the trunk of a car. I think it's pretty funny because it's like so random, and I like taking the mick of myself like that as well. So it kind of starts off like stalker, like I'm mentioning, keep looking for me prowling at night, and then watching me run down the street. And I also directly mention the stalker song in verse 2 where I'm like, I see you going for a walk, I'm not trying to stalk. Yo girl, trust me when I say I just want to talk. Yeah, you can basically see like the references here. I think it's cool that I did that. And during the bridge part of it, I mention I'm the net cutter and I'm 1 block away. This is a reference to the Insane Clown Posse song called The Loons, where it's like, I'm the net cutter and I'm 1 block away. J, Violent J. Violent J, like, goes around, like, stabbing people in that song as well. Pretty cool. I also mentioned stabbed bodies piling up in stacks of 9. And, like, around the time I released this album, the number 9 was, like, a bit, like, out there, like, really out there. Like, damn, it was showing up so much that I had to reference it, like, so many times as well. I think I might mention it more on the albums as well. Or songs, whatever, both of them. So the next song is called Alone at Night. And I feel like this song was inspired by something, but I literally don't remember. And in the chorus I mentioned K2D up again. Just don't let the K2D up by and whatnot. I just mentioned going into a person's house and like stabbing them while they're alone at night, because it's dangerous to be alone at night, whatnot. it's kind of like the stalker one. I'm just like talking about whatever I thought of first, and that seemed to be the one. I'd say like maybe it's like a home invader kind of thing, but I'm really not sure. I might have also been inspired by Boogie Woogie Woo by Insane Clown Posse as well, where Violent J talks about breaking into someone's house, basically doing the same thing again, really. And then the next song is Psych Ward, which I also think was one of the first songs I worked on for Witchcraft. And for this one, I was like, what could I say that would be crazy to get me into a psych ward? Like, what would I say that would make people think I should be in one? And I was asking people like, what would be the most messed up thing to do, and I just put that in a song. Like, I eat Doritos vertically, and then take out someone's heart out surgically. I never change my shoes. People give me negative reviews, whatnot, stuff like that. I use a spoon to cut my steak. Like, it sounds deranged as hell, but nobody's gonna put me to a psych ward for stuff like this, you know. But there is a unreleased version of this which has like more graphic lyrics, I think, but I don't know where it is. And it's like with this song, it's pretty tame. Like, I eat Doritos vertically, and then the last song was about me stabbing people. It's kind of funny. I think this song is a pretty good one with the instrumental, but if the lyrics were better, then it'd be so good, you know? It's kind of silly, though. And then the song after Psych Ward is called The Wicked Shit. And it's like just a basic Keithian 2 Dope song, I'd say. Like, I just talk about random stuff. Like, there's no specific theme. But I do mention, like, the concept of witchcraft again. Like, I'll heal my nutsack with these potions in my rutsack. A voodoo wizard. Ancient magical shit. Eternal damnation. Whatever. Just, like, really silly stuff. As per usual in, like, my songs, to be honest. The intro is a reference to First Day Out by Insane Clown Posse and this other band called Twisted. Keithian back with another funky rhyme, another funky rhyme, another funky rhyme. Violent J says something like that in First Day Out, and I'm like, swing it hard like I don't all the time, don't all the time, don't all the time. I think it was a good introduction to the song, really, because it's silly. And it's different from the rest of the album, I think, as well. It's just like silly stuff as compared to the other songs. There's also the chorus, which is listen to the wicked shit. The wicked shit is just another name for the music, like banger music, pretty fire music, whatever. And then I mentioned Spectral Blue, Take a Hit. This was a reference to this random thing that I thought about when I was listening to Twisted's Most Tasteless out. Oh my god. Twisted's Most Tasteless album, and the cover for that is like a blue tunnel thing. I don't know where I got the Spectral Blue Take a Hit thing from, though. Like, I know it definitely came from me being inspired by that album cover, but I'm not sure how I was directly inspired by it. But I was like, I'm gonna put this in a song, right? And I put it in a song, and then it became like a little teaser for, or more like a little hint towards the next album, which would be Smoked, and I'm talking about like Spectral Blue and that. And Spectral Blue was basically just this thing I thought about one day, which is like a fictional version of like weed that doesn't really hurt you or whatever. but I never really did go far with that idea because it sounds like really stupid anyway. Um, Spectral Blue, take a hit of like the Spectral Blue cigarette, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Um, I don't think there's much else to talk about in Witchcraft actually. I mean the song, goddamn. Um, the next song is called Love You, and Love You was the first of a traditional thing that I wanted to do, where I wanted to add like romantic or positive songs to the albums that I was making going forward. So there's also a positive song on the album as well, but I'll get to that in a second. I was like, the album's like a bit like messed up, so I might as well just do like a song called Love You, and then I'm like murdering people. Um, I think it's pretty silly. Like I like the beat. It's like boom, 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 boom. Um, there's not much to really talk about the song apart from like some lyrics. So I'm like really bad at writing love songs. So I was just like I'll do like stereotypical stuff like, "Yo, I think you're cute. Let's stargaze. Live out a romantic dream," or something like that. I mentioned you love my cool Keithian Juggalo style. Again, the name Keithian is mentioned. I still have no idea where it came from. And there's also Juggalo. Juggalo is the name for fans of Psychopathic Records, which was the Insane Clown Posse's record label. I'm basically calling myself a juggalo, like I'm making this horrorcore stuff, and I'm like swinging axes at people like Insane Clown Posse would do. There's also this random line about all I want to do is stab the Swiss. I don't know why I put that in, but I think it was just part of the like the silly aspects, and also it rhymed, and again, it's just funny, and it's kind of strange, but I don't know why I put like I want to feel the urge to murder you in the last chorus when I changed it in Stalker when the guy killed the woman. Like I could have put I felt the urge to murder you, murder you, murder you. But there's like the bit in the back where it's like, why were you swished, you fucking idiot? Wait, like cuts off, so it's like, you fucking idiot. I think it's funny, you know. And I like how it goes like, I wanna murder you, murder you, murder you. I wanna murder you, I wanna murder you, I wanna pretty cool. I'd say it's one of the good songs on the album. Again, if the lyrics were better, it would be godly. The next song is Murder/Frozen, and with everything else in the album, it's just like a song that I made up with what I first thought about. So I was like, murder is kind of a thing, like, why don't I do a song about like a serial killer, for example? And there's not anything else to really talk about in the song. Like, it's just be murdering people. But I do mention Ain't Nobody Go to the Marsh Lagoon. That's why I go there when it's afternoon. Dump them right there in the light of the moon. So Marsh Lagoon is a song by Twisted. And in that song, there's like 3 people who dump like people who have wronged them in like Marsh Lagoon, you know, and like nobody knows what happened there, but only the water knows, and what stuff like that. So I was like, why don't I just do that? Because I'm killing people in the songs, and like why don't I just throw people in a lake? And then the lake thing also became a thing in like the later albums as well. Like, oh no, I'm putting people in a lake again. I guess also in the chorus I mentioned stab him like Caesar, which implies him stabbing people like 25 times. And it's also a callback to the I Stab People song. And mentioning that again, the next song there is Keep Stabbing. which is the sequel to the I Stab People song. And it starts off with, I once tried to stab Ron in his balls. I got stopped by those fucking platinum walls. So the thing about Ron's persona is, at the time, he was like, his persona has platinum balls, so I wouldn't even be able to stab them. And then I mentioned Red again, and he didn't say anything, so I'm like, oh, that's a bit terrible. He said, I stabbed. And then there's, it keeps them with no signs of stopping. You know, like I'm making another song about stabbing people, and I mentioned stabbing people in the previous song as well. Like, I have an issue. And then I'm like, I keep stabbing people and I don't even know why. And now that I think of it, I haven't slept in days, and the stabbing got me kind of dazed, but I keep stabbing. I keep fucking stabbing. Implies like the character I'm playing is addicted to stabbing people. Like, I think it's pretty funny, actually. As I said, it's pretty funny. I mean, pretty silly, yeah. I also mentioned I went to go stab Cronus. Cronus is just like a guy I mentioned a lot in the songs. Not really much to talk about. But I think it's funny how he like fights back, bends my arm back, so I get stab people. But then I stab people anyway. With like a mangled arm. In verse 3, I mention accidentally strangling cops, and that's because my persona is like basically Shaggy 2-Dope, but I don't know, like cool, I guess. So he's also like the Southwest Strangler. He's killing people. Cowboy Texan, idiot, strangling and stabbing people. Pretty funny album, to be honest. I don't know how many times I've said that. And also, I want to mention my throat is kind of bad right now, so sorry if I sound like terrible. But I also mention I keep stabbing people like I'm stuck in reverse. Think of it as like scratching a turntable, like you're going shika shika shika, like you're going back and forth. So I'm like stabbing people back and forth, and I keep dragging them to my car trunk. There is with the trunk again, the 9 again, 9 bodies, whatever. And there's like the humorous like, how do they even fit anywhere? And then at the end of the song there's a sample from the original I Stab People where I'm like, you better hope it's not you next, because I stab people. And then we get into like really ICP stuff with the next song, which is I Want to Kill People. Now, people looking at that song like initially would be thinking like, I want to kill people. It's kind of strange, you know, like, does this guy want to kill people? He sounds kind of weird. But then you listen to the song and I'm like, I know that shit ain't legal, but get this, I'm evil and highly obviously illegal. And then I'm like, I'm gonna kill pieces of shit though, so don't worry if I'm twisted like that, bro. So I'm incorporating the ICP kind of murder, which is different from the rest of the album, because I'm just talking about stabbing people, just like random people, like there's not really any reason to it. But with this one, there's actually motive, like, I believe these people should just die, so I'm killing them in a song. And I also mentioned strangling people again, and killing evil people, such as ICP do, and killing pedophiles, judges, pro-shippers, AI users, Elon Musk, dick riders, whatever else, you know, just like people who I dislike and don't deserve a life, you know. Just you get the gist of the song. Really, like it's just straightforward. Like these people should die, so I'm killing them. The next song is "Passing On," which is the positive song that I mentioned in like earlier in the album. It's just like a motivating song, and it's like a break from the rest of the album. There's not really much to talk about, really. It's just pretty cool songs that I wanted to add to give like a different sort of thing, and also just like for people who are listening to it and thinking I'm crazy, and then there's like this really heartfelt song that, well, I'd say like really heartfelt. Like as I said, the lyrics aren't great, so it's not the best thing ever. But you get the gist, right? So I just wanted to add a song like this, so I did it, and it adds a break, as I said, from the rest of the other violent stuff that I talk about. And then there's "Fuck the Church," which is the next album. The next album? No, the next song. The next song is called "Fuck the Church," and "Fuck the Church" is probably like the most song that makes sense in the album, because it has my actual like opinions, well, like kind of like the "I want to kill people" one, but like more straightforward. So I was hearing like a lot about how kids get like molested and like hurt in churches, so I was like, what the fuck, I'm gonna write a song about this because this is not on, and it follows like the ICP stuff as well. So I just mentioned like bringing up the churches that have like these bad people in them, and then there's also the mention of 9 again, and it's just like a kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of song, because I just like the fact that kids can easily be manipulated and touched in churches. Like, what the frick? What the fuck? I think it, as I said, it's also the song that makes the most sense, because the lyrics are pretty good as well. And then it ends with, "Man, fuck the church, what if the world ended?" And that's the transition into the next song called "End of the World." And "End of the World" is a song that was inspired by the Insane Clown Posse song called "It's All Over," and it's basically just like the world ending. So my one is like, what if the world ended? And then I have Ron on this as well, but instead of this song having lyrics I wrote for him, like the Dead Disco one, he actually made these, and they go like hand in hand, and they kiss each other as well, and they have passionate love as well, and I think it ties the song together really well. But I still have no idea what he meant by "take a quick whiff and then you die, you win, no diff." Hello? And I think it's a pretty good song. Like, the beat is good as well, and it makes sense. Apart from the fact that I say I don't remember if all my shit is on cassette, because it definitely wasn't at that point. But then again, it's a song, like, it doesn't have to make sense, and probably like Persona stuff as well. Like, he's probably made like so many albums before, K2D Dope. But in can't speak. In chronological order, my demo CD would basically be before this. So I guess you could say like it makes sense, the cassette line. And I mentioned the cassette line again on Smoked as well. Not really much else to say here, really. Is there? I'm looking at the lyrics. One thing I noticed that Ron does, he says the world's gonna end, driving into the light, and then in verse 3 he mentions more scared than about to hit a deer. Like, continuous storytelling is crazy. I I also mention. No, he mentions Keith. It's kind of weird because Keithian, whatever. Um, Pretty decent song, I'd say. Not really much to talk about. My bad if I'm not giving like the most brain blasting information about all these songs. The song after that is End of Witchcraft, which is kind of like the second track would be Witchcraft, and it's just Witchcraft, Witchcraft, Witchcraft. This one is just like End of Witchcraft. This little mad whack shit, yo, Witchcraft. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think it's better than the second track, but I think the name is like really unoriginal, just like End of Witchcraft. And I feel like if the song was longer, that'd be pretty cool as well. And then the track after that is the outro track, and I say I got a train to catch. I'll see you all in hell, and there's train noise. So I want to explain this. So I'll see you all in hell just represents the fact that Witchcraft is horrorcore, and most of the people who I talk about in the album probably deserve to be dead. You know, I'd see them in hell. But also the train, there's like a side EP for like all my albums basically, and for this one I released one called the Ghost Train EP, and I haven't made like an updated version of it yet, but what that EP is about is basically like insane clown posse type stuff, and it's a train that takes you through hell, but it like gives you like memories of stuff you've done and whatnot, and you get hit in the face by metal and whatnot. It's a good connection to like the EP, but I still don't think the EP was that great. I might make a commentary on that one as well. That's really all for Witchcraft. Apart from the fact that the digital version has like a few things that I might want to talk about. So, for the digital disc, the second track called Witchcraft is replaced with an announcement track, which I put on like the later albums as well. Just like a warning of content that'll be in the album, like those old Eminem albums that have like the announcement tracks are like, this announcement is brought in part to you by Slim Shady, and it's like, don't do drugs, whatnot. Like, for me it's just don't do violence or anything I talk about in this, because I don't mean it seriously. And the End of Witchcraft track is also removed as well, and it's replaced with the Dead Disco solo bonus track, which is just me, like I'm rapping over the Ron lyrics that I wrote for him, and for some reason I sound like a corpse in like all of these songs, but people have told me like it adds flavor to the album, which I think is fine. But also in I Stab People, there's a mixing issue which blends like an outtake that I recorded over like the hook or the bridge. I think it was the bridge, like the part where I say I'm the neck cutter. I think it adds flavor as well, because it's like, I stab people, ah. Pretty cool. Unintentional feature, I guess. I also wanted to mention the Wicked Shit song again. So the Wicked Shit song initially had a sample of the Zen Clown Posse's Carnival Carnage song, but I removed it from both releases, I think, because I didn't want to get done for like copyright or something. Maybe I'll release it one day. We'll see. There's also like a number of unreleased songs for Witchcraft as well that I didn't add to the album because I thought it'd be too long, and I ran out of time to work on it as well. I don't think I set myself a deadline, but like, I think I just wanted to release it as quickly as possible, and I did that. Guess that's all to talk about really about Witchcraft. I am planning on making like a remastered version of it later though, so you'll probably find that when it comes out or something. I think I've been talking for like 45 minutes at this point. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again like in another commentary video, I guess, or like another song, whatever. Dope, and I'm out.